Hey tankers, and welcome back to World of Tanks with PR154, where we are on Mannerheim Line in the Tier 9 British tank destroyer, the Tortoise. Now we are top tiered, which is a very handy place to be in this vehicle. The Tortoise is a machine that's renowned for its frontal durability. It does have a couple of more obvious weak spots that is something that the Tier 9 American heavy tank destroyer, the T-95, doesn't have in quite such obvious quantity. Nevertheless, Tortoise is still a very potent weapon. So it runs 120mm main armament with just fantastic damage per minute, quite accurate as well, as we'll see. Rolling out from deployment, there's a bit of some unusual deployment choices from our team here. We've got our T-95 as playing more of a camping tank destroyer style, so it's just my vehicle, VK 10001, and the STG guard that's sort of even remotely looking to contest this area, and without knowing what the enemy vehicles were doing at this point in time, it didn't really make a lot of sense for us to sort of push in. Even though I was a Tier 9 vehicle, you can see at least one enemy medium tank has started to feel their way through. But yeah, so some very unusual deployment choices here with the T-95 in a sniper position, and E-50, which is more of an assault medium tank, is sort of positioned up here. The Chrysler K, I have no idea what it's doing. Lerva is sort of playing mid, so a lot of vehicles just out of position, which didn't help out too much. So we've got our STG has decided it's going to be the first to go down the ramp and see what's there, so it's able to identify that enemy CS-53. Also finds the Waffenträger, and the enemy VK 101P has pushed up as well. Our friendly VK is able to put quite a convincing shot into the enemy Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger, as the enemy CS-53 takes a low road. So we still haven't fired a shot in the game just yet. Again, the conditions here weren't really conducive to us pushing. We certainly, I guess, had we moved around that corner, it would have really made this group of tanks extra useless, because they're not really doing anything from there. At best, I thought, well, maybe if there was a significant enemy push through that area, we might be able to fall back and get everyone's guns involved in the game. But we certainly weren't going to be able to count on those guns had we sort of pushed through this area. So trying to make a move on the CS-53, and we've picked up a lucky shot to their cupola. So quite happy with that. They are joined by the M4A1 Revelarice, which is the Sherman with the big French gun, and we're able to get a couple of hits into the Sherman. Not particularly well armored vehicle. That's one of those vehicles that's all about the gun, really. So pushing around, we're just trying to get some shots into the VK 101P. I've got a bouncer premium. That must be running the 105mm gun, but its armor is just not standing up to the standard rounds on the 120mm main armament of Tortoise. So we're sort of able to put rounds through the cupola. We're able to put them through the cheeks of the turret. Another shot into the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. So we're now in a position we can start to pick up the damage. We're not overexposing ourselves and sort of collecting the damage in turn. Having said that, we've caught a bit of a cheeky shot to the rear from the enemy CS-53. We do have other friendly tanks who are able to deal with that. So I've kind of tried to shrug the CS-53 off at this point in time, but just pointed the vehicle their way to let them know that I hadn't completely forgotten about them. Just swinging back around in anticipation, just to keep another poke and a shot from entering our sides. Just to get a tracking shot from the VK100-01P, but not before sending the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger back to the garage. One more shot in the VK100-01P, leaving it highly one-shottable and killing shot to the lower frontal plate. Now with that out of the way, that gives our VK100-01P a little bit more confidence to push on the enemy CS-53, and it starts to chase it down the slope. Scores are roughly even at this point in the game, with the enemy having lost... Well, okay, I spoke too soon there. The Pantera was rapidly knocked out, and now we have a 2,000 hit point advantage, so happy days. VK100-01P dealing with the CS-53 down the bottom. We're just trying to watch this situation to see what we do next. Didn't really feel like getting into a poke fight with the T-30, and we're also conscious that the enemy T-95 is sort of playing in the field here. All of the vehicles that had deployed up where the GSAW 1008 is, they are all now dead. So even our T-95 had been knocked out as well. So we elected to move around and try to restore some of the fire in the mid, particularly with the T-95 in the mid. Tried to aim our shot carefully there, but unfortunately we've taken a hit from the T-95 that's made quite a considerable dent to our hit points, but that repositioning has enabled us to start getting shots in through the mid. We're able to knock out the Leopard Prototype A, and that should just about take care of everything in the south. They do have the HWK-30 there. 5 enemy tanks left in the game, and there's a Stridsvagn S1 that hasn't been spotted yet. While we've been rolling along, this was the mission that was live at the time of doing this battle. It's a sort of mission that you don't really have a great read on your progress on, but the criterion is simple. You have to account for 25% of the total damage caused by your team. By comparison, the high caliber metal you get if you cause 20% of the total damage of your team. So you need to go a little bit above and beyond there. You need to win the battle, and you also need to survive the battle. So we're at less than half our hit points at the moment, so we do need to be a little bit careful. We found the enemy Stridsvagn S1 and able to put a penetrating hit into it. The AMX 5100 also finds us, so we're going to try to change angles. Also noting the Stridsvagn S1 is sort of still working its way up that area, but we're able to silence that particular threat, just leaving 3 enemy vehicles in the game. So far we've accrued over 4,700 hit points of damage, so hoping that's going to be sufficient to enable us to meet our goal. Moving up, we're not quite sure where the enemy team has pulled back to, but we have found the enemy AMX 5100 again. GSAW 1008 has been found and shut down by the T-44. HWK-30 puts a very cheeky heat round into us, while in the meantime the AMX 5100's been knocked out by some of the other vehicles approaching from the north. So we're just one more shot into the HWK-30 will just about do it. And there we are. That is game, and we've finished up with over or nearly 5,700 hit points of damage. Hopefully that is enough to satisfy our mission conditions. Let's take a look at the results. So quite happy with that one, folks. For our efforts, we've come away with a level 1 mastery badge. We've also come away with these two epic or battle heroes medals. So we've picked up the high caliber medal, where we've caused damage accounted for at least 20% of the total hit point pool of enemy vehicles. We've also picked up the steel wall medal, where we've received the most hits of anyone in our team and sort of blocked it accordingly. A few other of these badges of merit as well, between duelist and fighter, fire for effect, for just causing a fantastic amount of damage relative to our own hit point pool, and shell proof, where we've blocked more damage than our hit point pool is as well. Having a look at the team scores, that's quite a considerable damage tally. Now, if our maths are correct, that's a total of 20,365 hit points in the enemy hit point pool in total. So we have, of that, we have inflicted 5,945, which gives us 29% of the total enemy hit point pool. So we've been able to meet that primary mission condition there. Of course, the other primary condition being to win, and the secondary condition being to survive, which we're also able to do. So that's one of the missions locked away for the Chimera. And not a terrible game either from a credits point of view either. Now, granted, we had a bit of a payout there for knocking over the personal campaign mission. There may have also been another mission on for the dailies at the time. Of course, the FIDI battle payments as well. So that's 113,000 credits there. So you take that off. So we're still coming away with 34,000 credits. Net over that game. I guess a lot of that was down to just where possible, we stayed with the standard ammunition, and let's face it, there weren't too many targets downrange that we couldn't penetrate with the standard stuff. So why not use it? So there you have it, another personal campaign mission bites the dust. And if you've got a game that you're happy with, please reach out over Discord or any of the links below. We're very contactable here at World of Tanks with PR154, and we'll do our best to sort you out and put your replay on the channel. In the meantime, take care out there.